How to know if changing jobs is the right decision for you. Changing jobs can be a very stressful process, so in this video I plan to break down a few steps that you can go through to ensure that you make the right decision. Before you do that, the first thing you have to understand is you have to understand and assess your current job satisfaction. You have to look at all the factors that are going into your current job before you start looking or making that decision to change. So the first question you want to ask yourself is, what are the main pain points you're facing? Is it lack of growth? Is it poor work-life balance? Is it your work environment, whether that's coworkers, whether that's managers, whatever? Is it the content of the work itself? Is it no longer meaningful? Is it no longer impactful to you? And then also with these pain points, you also want to ask yourself, is this problem fixable? Because you want to see, is this problem fixable so you can stay at your current job? Because at least in my opinion, changing jobs then adds on a 6-month learning curve where you have to put in extra energy to build those relationships for that new job, learn the work you're doing, and get comfortable, at least familiar with the systems that you are working within. So you're gonna ask yourself, what are those pain points again? Is it lack of growth, poor work-life balance, work environment, content of the work, and are those pain points fixable? Now, also when you're assessing your current satisfaction, you want to look at your achievements. What have you accomplished so far at your current job? Do you feel fulfilled or stagnant? Maybe you've accomplished so much so far, but there's been a period of 6 months to a year where you haven't accomplished that much and you feel stagnant. Would it change how you felt about your job satisfaction if you were able to get another big win under your belt? I know in my life personally, when I've been at a job or when I'm working on my business, if I don't have a win for a month or two, I could feel stagnant. But if I can get just even a little win, I'll feel a lot better about my current place. And so when you're looking at your achievements, you want to look at your metrics. Maybe your sales conversion rate has gone down if you're a salesperson. Or what other metrics could you measure for yourself to understand your achievement? Also, what difference are you making in this world? Maybe you're a therapist and there's not that many metrics you can look at other than, your divorce rate of your clients or getting clients back together, or maybe you work on one-on-ones, so there really isn't that many metrics. What kind of difference are you making in that person's life, or what kind of impact are you making? So you want to look at your achievements and evaluate them, and maybe you've been caught up so much in the work that you haven't even realized that you need a small win, or maybe how much of a difference that you truly are making. One final thing when looking at your current job satisfaction is consider your emotional well-being. Consider, and I don't want you to base your leaving based upon your emotional well-being, because if we based all of our decisions based upon our emotions, we would probably end up in a place we don't want to be. So I want you to consider your emotional well-being. And when you do this, just think about how you feel about your job. Do you enjoy it? What does it make you feel? Stuff like that. But a helpful statement to make sure that you don't base your emotional well-being off of your decision is to actually use this statement. So it is, I will X for Y time period expecting Z. And so for me, what it looks like for me as a coach is, I have been taking this course for marketing, client acquisition, whatever. I will do the context of the course for 1 year expecting 20 paying clients. Now that's just an example that I've rattled off quick, but you could use that for anything. So you will do action X for Y time period expecting Z result, and then you can then reevaluate. So for your job, I will focus on fixing these problems for 1 year, expecting that the job will get better, I'll start to grow again, or I'll have a better work environment with my coworkers or my managers, whatever it is. So you could use this statement and then you can reevaluate and then consider if you want to leave that job. So that's assessing your current job satisfaction. So the second step in this process is to evaluate new opportunities. Maybe you went through the first process, you're like, you know what, Chris, I need to change jobs, or I definitely want to consider it. So when you're evaluating new opportunities, the first piece is going to be ask yourself, what are new opportunities or positions are out there, and what kind of growth and learning will they have for you? So what kind of personal and professional development will be in these new positions for you? You can check the job market. Will they push you? I really do believe that it's important for us to be consistently growing in our jobs to make sure we enjoy it. That's a personal belief of mine, but I think it is essential to feel really good about where we're at. So you want to just start looking at the job market and look at, okay, these positions out there. And also you want to understand that, are you looking at a time that's going to be beneficial to the market? Because a year ago, I would have told you to never leave your job if you were a software engineer, because so many of the jobs were declining. So all these new college grads had to compete with all these people who are getting laid off with 10 years of experience. It was a very hard job market, and I know personally because I worked with 2 or 3 people in that industry. So what other positions are out there, and what personal and professional development will they offer you? Also, research company culture. The way you can do this is you can reach out to past employees on LinkedIn. You can reach out to current employees. Hey, I'm interested in working at this company. How do you feel about it? What do you know about it? And they'll give you their feedback. Most likely, just reach out to a high volume of them, and you're definitely going to get one on a call to at least be able to discuss it. And also, once you figure out that work culture, ask, does it align with your values and your work style? If you like to work from home, this is 5 days in the office, it's not going to work. Same thing if you like to work in the office and this is a work from home position, it's probably not going to work very well. Also, do they value the customer? If you value that, do they value paying you a high wage? What do those values look like, and does it align with you? And then finally, you also are going to weigh financial and career benefits, because this is very important with those new opportunities, because you could look at your current job satisfaction, but if your lifestyle demands that you have a 6-figure income because you set it up that way, and you can fix that obviously, but in the short term, you've set it up that way, you can't just jump and leave. So you have to ask yourself, what is financially and salary does this new position look like? What are the benefits involved? Because benefits can be huge. As you guys, if you might know that I work at Costco as my day job to kind of pay the bills while I'm building this business, and their benefits are phenomenal, phenomenal. They cost the dental, all the health, all those benefits are amazing. The paid time off, all that stuff is top tier. So looking at the benefits, it can really actually change outside of just the salary. You also have to ask yourself, what does long-term opportunities look like? Is there long-term opportunities for growth? Can you ascend a ladder if that's important to you? Stuff like that. Looking at those long-term opportunities will be important to looking at career benefits. And then also, where are you in life? Because if the position is a lower salary but has a huge opportunity for growth, well, that's great for a 25-year-old, but maybe not so great for a 60-year-old. Same thing as maybe it's super high salary but not much room for growth. You'd be doing the same thing. You're not really ascend within the company. Great for a 60-year-old, not great for a 25-year-old. So you want to evaluate those new opportunities, and that's how you can go about doing it. Third and final piece is going to be consider timing and transition. Maybe you've assessed your current job satisfaction, you realize that you do need a new job, you've evaluated the new opportunities, and maybe you've even found one that you really enjoy. And with that, well, or not enjoy, but it seems interesting to you, it's finally time to consider the timing of the transition. The first piece is the timing. Is it the right time within the market? Just like I said earlier with the software engineers, I would have told none of them to leave their position no matter how much they hated it, because of how much of an uphill battle all my clients were facing with applying new jobs. I mean, I knew a client who applied for 1,000 new software engineer jobs because he was fresh out of college and he was competing with all these people with 10 years experience. Same thing, I was working with a client who had 8 years of experience within software development, and he was having struggles finding jobs, and he was scoring in the top 10% of the technical assessment, and that was showing you how hard it was. So it wasn't necessarily the right time. Also, in terms of timing, maybe you set your XYZ statement as earlier. So again, I will do X for Y time period, expecting Z result. And maybe you haven't fulfilled your XYZ statement, so you still need to fulfill that and see it through the time, because you're acting on emotions right now with not carrying out your XYZ statement. Also, what are your personal commitments? If you have 3 kids and you got to provide for the household, well, you can't just leave the job, and you have to make sure that you've saved up enough money and the salary meets all that. So you have to look at your personal benefits. Also, again, market conditions, huge. And then what other external factors are there? Maybe you have a brother you're supporting, or maybe there's big vacation you have coming up where it's going to cost you $10,000. So maybe right time wouldn't be to jump. Or maybe your wife's pregnant and she's about to have a kid in the next 2 months. It wouldn't be the best idea to start a new job, most likely. So timing is an important factor to consider. On top of timing, transition. You want to make this a smooth transition. You want to make this transition from one company to another as the best terms possible. So make sure you turn in your 2 weeks or your month notice, whatever. Also, ask yourself, can you fix it one final time? Is this a problem that is fixable? Because again, a lot of people don't think about this, there's a 6-month learning curve on every new job you're going to take, at least. You have to learn the systems, you have to build those relationships. And if you're ready for that, great, because it's a huge opportunity, but also it costs a lot of energy to do so. So if you overall like the current work of your company, there's just a few problems, but they're fixable, it might make more sense to stay at that company. Also, with transition, be prepared for learning. As I said, that 6-month learning curve, you really do have to adopt their systems, adopt their new culture. And then also, one final thing within transition, I would encourage you to seek advice from mentors or colleagues. Even coworkers at your current job, or even your mentors at your current job, if they truly care about you, they will encourage you to do what is best for you. My mom was actually just changing positions, and she was trying to decide between two companies, and one of the companies was like, if you don't take this opportunity, you will never be at this company again. And I was like, that statement, Mom, do they really care about you? Do they really care about your future being the best? Obviously, there's much more to the situation I'm not going to get into, but from what I heard, it seemed like they didn't care about her. So I encouraged her to take the other job because there was a lot more benefits, and that person over here would have seen that and would have encouraged her to take this one because this opportunity over here was able to provide her with much better salary, much better benefits, and much more in line with what she did. And then they make that statement, it shows that they don't care. So seek advice from mentors and colleagues, and if they're at your current job and they don't say what's in line for you, it's probably even more evidence for you to make the jump. And then also, that's the final piece, is to make the jump or commit to fixing the problem. So literally commit to finding the new job, because the thing is that it's easy to do nothing. It's easy to sit and be like, well, I thought about all these things, but I'm just gonna stay and do nothing. I'm not gonna fix the problems I'm at. I'm not gonna make the career jump. I would encourage you that if you've gone through this and you realize, yep, I need to make the jump, commit to doing it and commit to fixing it one way or another. Find and make the decision, because if you don't, one will be given to you. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, but most importantly, comment what was most helpful so I can make more videos about that.